Welcome to the Ask Jordan podcast, answering your questions about selling on Amazon. Now, he's peeled off more prices than a family of shoplifters. From Long Island, New York, here's your host, Jordan Malik.
Hello, Amazon sellers. This is Jordan Malik. I'm your host of the Ask Jordan podcast. This is our 53rd episode, almost 80,000 downloads to date. I think we started this in March of 2014. Thanks so much for making me part of your day. It's October 25th when I'm recording this, 2014. You know, you've been watching the news, a lot of unsafe things and tragedy happening in the world today. And I don't like to use this podcast as any political platform, but all I want to say is I hope you're safe and that your family members are safe and that you're doing well. This is the podcast where we only answer your questions about selling on Amazon. Every episode, we answer a different question from you, the listener, about selling on Amazon. If you missed an episode, you can go to AskJordan.net. AskJordan.net, we have the previous 52 episodes there and a link to the archives. Your question may have already been answered in one of those. And if you want to hear your voice on an episode and get 7 of my best-selling ebooks 100% free, I'm going to tell you how to do that after we answer today's question. Today's question is from Keaton. Go ahead, Keaton.
Hey, Jordan, this is Keaton. Big fan of your podcast. Been listening for a while. My question today is, what do you use as a golden rule for sales rank? I know you've talked about sales rank and how it differs in other podcasts, but for example, a 300,000 sales rank in a book, which is actually pretty good, is not so great in a bunch of other different categories. And how do you go about, especially as a new seller, knowing when you're out doing retail arbitrage or things of the like? How do you know and how do you think about what might be good in health and beauty or toys? How have you kind of determined a standard or a golden rule, so to speak, over the years? Thanks so much, Jordan. Bye.
Keaton, that's a great question. I covered this previous episode on the Ask Jordan podcast. I forget which episode it was, but the reason why I took your question is because I've kind of updated some information. Many sellers get into selling on Amazon. They stick too close to requirements for sales rank, what they think the requirements are. For anybody who's unfamiliar, Amazon assigns a best seller rank to a number of their products. Not all their products have a visible bestseller rank, and only Amazon knows how that bestseller rank is calculated. In very general terms, a bestseller rank is just basically the sales frequency, how quickly an item is selling during a very brief moment of time. So at that moment in time, how quickly an Amazon product is selling. For instance, books is a category at Amazon that must have, by today, 15 to 20 million listings. So a sales rank of, say, 1,000 in books, a bestseller rank of 1,000 in books is excellent. The lower the sales rank number, the better. Or like Keaton said, 300,000 is a pretty good bestseller rank in books. But if you look at toys may have a total of, 2 million listings versus the book's 20 million. So a sales rank of 300,000 in toys really isn't all that great compared to books. So the problem that arises is what I call sales rank snobbery, where sellers get hung up on a sales rank and say, well, I'm not going to sell anything unless it's got a sales rank of 50,000 or better or whatever. But there's other criteria that's going to, if you're a smart seller, that's going to influence your decision. I have purchased items of sales rank let me give an example. I've purchased books. The sales rank was 3 million. That was back when there was only maybe 10 or 12 million listings on Amazon. So sales rank of 3 million is pretty bad. But if you're the only seller, or if you're the only FBA seller, meaning your product is fulfilled by Amazon and not shipped from home, where your competing sellers are merchant fulfilled, where they are shipping it from home, you have a tremendous advantage of moving your product more quickly if you're an FBA seller. And a 3 million sales rank doesn't look that bad. How about a 12 million sales rank when you're the only seller, right? If there's zero quantity available on Amazon, that bestseller rank is only going to worsen over time. So you could have a bestseller rank of 1,000 one day, and 3 weeks later, if there's no stock at Amazon, that sales rank is going to naturally worsen. It's going to get higher. The sales rank is going to go from 1,000 to 10,000, 100,000 to 1 million or whatever. because the other products on Amazon are outpacing it in sales simply because that book has zero quantity in stock, and thus the sales rank will progressively worsen. So looking at sales rank alone, and I'm going to give you some resources, Keaton, but looking at sales rank alone in a kind of a sweeping fashion, I'm not saying that you do that, but many sellers do, is they become what I call sales rank snobs. Looking at sales rank alone is not a good indicator. However, I do have a general guideline that I'm going to be sharing for the first time for free. When you go to jordanmalik.com/SR, all lowercase, jordanmalik.com, SR, S as in super, R as in railroad. That's a web post that I just updated with a plethora of sales rank information, including a cheat sheet that you can download. Look for the link on that page that says cheat sheet. And that's what I give to other starting sellers when they're starting out. And they say, Jordan, what sales ranks do I look for? I give them the sheet and about maybe 5 or 6 categories: kitchen, toys, books, CDs, a couple others, where I give them the ideal sales rank to look for, bestseller rank to look for when you're out. And how do you get the bestseller rank? Well, when you're out looking for products and you have a scouting app like Profit Bandit on your Android phone or iPhone, or NitoScan, and you scan the barcode of an item that you want to buy to resell on Amazon, or if you don't have the barcode or a scouting app, you can look up the information on the product by just on your web browser on your phone or on your computer, going to Amazon.com and type in the title of the item or the UPC code, and you can see most items in the Amazon catalog. I wouldn't even say most. I'd say probably roughly half have a bestseller rank. There's plenty of items that have no bestseller rank, either because Amazon suppresses the information for some reason. For instance, in consumer electronics, they don't give the bestseller rank at all. And some items that they just added to the Amazon catalog, or they're in the Amazon catalog and they've never sold before, they'll have no bestseller rank posted. And I've seen Amazon pull the bestseller rank information entirely from across entire products for a day or two, and every seller I know freaks out. So, Keaton, I hope that answers your question, and there's plenty of information at that link, jordanmalik.com/SR, to give you an idea. And practice makes perfect, because as you grow as a seller, Keaton, you'll be relying on the sales rank less, and you'll have a more rounded look of the product within the category and amongst other sellers, and the buyer ratings of the product, the price you can acquire it for. Look at, I've purchased items that had a terrible sales rank by comparison. They had a sales rank that most other sellers would ignore, but it may have been a seasonal thing where I was buying Halloween items for a song, 25 cents a unit or $1 or $5 a unit in the middle of, February, full knowing that these weren't going to sell until October of the following year. So that's why you can't just ignore sales rank out of the gate universally. You can't ignore it if it's outside of certain parameters. You have to be flexible. So I hope that answers your question, Keaton. Keaton gets all 7 of my books about selling on Amazon, eBay. Keaton, just go to askjordan.net. Click on the small envelope icon near the upper right-hand corner of the page. You can send me an email so I know where to send your ebooks to. And if you, the listener, want to submit a question to the podcast and have a chance to win all my best-selling ebooks, just like Keaton, call 516-619-ONLINE. That's 516-619-6654. That's an automatic voice message machine. You can leave your question there, or go to askjordan.net and scroll down, look for the directions on submitting your question. Hey, thanks so much for listening. This has been the Ask Jordan Podcast. We'll see you again in our next episode.